This is Major. I'm on site.
March 31st, 2017 marked the release date of Ghost in the Shell, an American remake of the much revered anime released in 1995. The original was groundbreaking for its animation and complex story, which questioned the meaning of consciousness and is widely respected as one of the greatest examples of anime film. Conversely, the live-action version was maligned once it was announced that Scarlett Johansson will be playing the role of Motoko Kusanagi instead of an actor of Asian descent. Is Ghost in the Shell a great film that pays homage to the classic anime, or is it just one more example of Hollywood misappropriating culture to make a quick buck? We're reviewing Ghost in the Shell today on the J.Ari Show. Hello everyone, you're watching the J.Ari Show, and today we got a special guest. 82, why don't you tell the viewers who we have with us today?
I will, but what's this J.Ari Show?
There's another show called Ari and Friends, so I thought it would be in the best interest of everyone to simply change the name, so from now on, it's the J.Ari Show.
It should be the 82 Show. I'm the only reason why people are watching.
Stop playing 82. Introduce the guest.
Today's guest is renowned film producer Wilson White, known for such titles as Snow White and the Huntsman, White Heat, White Fang, White Chicks, and White Men Can Jump.
Mr. White, I love the classic White Men Can't Jump. I would even go as far to say that it is nothing short of a masterpiece.
Oh, you're too kind, Ari. And thank you. Let me say it's a pleasure to be on the show with you today.
I still can't believe that we were able to get someone of your caliber on my show. I mean, you wouldn't believe our first two guests.
They couldn't have been that bad.
Our first guest was this perverted old toad with a hook for a hand who said he wanted the powers of Reed Richards so he can satisfy all the girls. And our second guest was some sort of ape supremacist who thought that King Kong was some kind of conspiracy against apes.
Sounds like you've been having quite a time.
And on top of that, nobody's watching the show. I've been on YouTube for 2 weeks now, and I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet.
You have to be patient. You just can't upload videos and think you're going to be a YouTube celebrity. You've got to do shady things to get more views.
Shady things like what?
You've got to go on other review channels, give them a compliment, and post a link to this channel in the comment section.
Man, that's shady as hell.
And then, you've got to put ratchet stuff in your videos, like the girl that got punched off the bus.
You going to jail now? You going to jail now? You going to jail?
Damn! That's the way to get more views.
Sorry, 82. I'm not cut out for the shady business.
Listen, you could do all that. But if you really want more views, the answer is very simple.
Oh, yeah? Well, what do I need to do?
You gotta whitewash.
What the heck was that?
That, my friend, is the power of whitewash. When you hear that, you know the money is soon to follow.
What's the whitewash?
The whitewash is when persons like me take things from persons like Ari and makes a bunch of money off of it.
Sounds like stealing to me.
Well, it is when Ari does it. But when I do it, it's called appropriation. Say it with me, 82. Appropriation.
Don't you dare, 82. And what's with this mess about me whitewashing the show? How is that gonna get me more views?
Ari, haven't you heard? White's the new black.
That doesn't make any sense.
The first rule of business, Ari, is when appealing to the masses, you gotta give them what they want. And what they want is white.
I ain't buying that. I can give you plenty of examples of things that people love that ain't white.
Of course. When it comes to jumping through rings, chasing balls, or vulgar music, those of us who are pigmentally challenged would rather see you brownies perform those tasks. But when it comes to the finer things in life, that, my friend, is reserved for the white.
Bull.
When Coca-Cola wants to show us the good life, who do they go get? See how good this white family looks? Makes you want to drink a cola right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little.
Now see this, Bear. You really think Coca-Cola wants the likes of him advertising their drinks? No. He needs a job more suited to his talent. Like teaching colored bears how to wipe themselves.
You ain't making no sense.
It's perfect sense. If you want to make money, all you gotta do is make it white. Look at this rice. Can't even keep it in the bag. It's so unruly. It's hard as nails and it tastes twice as bad. Now this is what I call rice. See how it just sits there in the bowl? All peaceful, not causing any problems? Who wouldn't want to eat that?
Yeah, it does kind of look good.
and it outsells other rice by 1,000,000%.
You just made that up.
I did not. What's wrong with this picture? It's all dull, drab. Something's missing. And now look at it. A bustling epicenter of joy and commerce. The owner made a lot of money after that, and you can too.
And all I gotta do is whitewash, huh?
That's it. Check this out. I took 3 lactose-intolerant films and made some improvements to them. First up is a tale of 4 friends growing up in the inner city, fighting against gang violence and police brutality, formerly known as Boys in the Hood. Now it's about 4 boys growing up in the suburbs, fighting against social justice warriors and affirmative action. I bring you White Boys in the Neighborhood, starring Slim Jesus, Justin Bieber, Josh Hutcherson, and Action Bronson.
That's ridiculous.
You'll really like this next one. It's the 1960s and the height of civil unrest in America. The people need a champion who's gonna fight for their civil rights and stick it to the man. Michael Fassbender is Malcolm X,
Nah, that's not gonna work. You can't whitewash Malcolm X.
with Brian Cox as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Trust me, White Malcolm X makes $500 million at the box office.
You sure about that?
Trust me. And last but not least, we have the story of an Asian cyborg, Motoko Kusanagi, who's in pursuit of a hacker that tampers with people's memories.
Oh, nah, man, don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Now it's about a Japanese girl whose brain is put inside a white woman. We'll call it Ghost in the Shell.
That's tough.
Oh, nah, man. Look, none of these movies make any sense, and there's no way that they're gonna make any money.
Trust me, guys, whitewashing Ghost in the Shell is gonna make the studio a ton of money.
You sure?
If Ghost in the Shell doesn't do numbers, I'll hang myself from this very building.
How did you like the Ghost in the Shell?
It was all right. Wasn't great, but definitely not as bad as some of the critics said.
Was it whitewashed?
Yeah, it was, but I'm not getting into all that right now. I'll put another video out later where I talk about whitewashing.
Okay, what's good with this film?
All right, before my review, I gotta let the people know that I'm not a big fan of the anime. I recognize the significance of Ghost in the Shell, but the movies that I liked were Vampire Hunter D, Akira, and my all-time personal favorite, Ninja Scroll. Ghost in the Shell was never my thing, so that might have an effect on this review. Okay, let's talk about the pros. This film looks amazing, and I'm not exaggerating. The color, props, CG, and set design create a fantastic but tangible world that looks very attractive. Other reviews have compared this film to The Matrix and Blade Runner, but I don't agree with those comparisons. The world of Blade Runner is sick, drab, and lifeless. This is done by using the color yellow. Whenever you see a yellow sky in a movie, it signals to the viewer that the world is harsh. The Matrix uses a lot of green, a color that signals otherworldly danger. Whenever you see green in a film, particularly when it's being used as light, that lets you know that something isn't right. Ghost in the Shell uses a lot of blue, which is a very soothing and inviting color. Blade Runner and The Matrix, they both happen after, these world wars where most of the population is destroyed. You never really get that sense from Ghost in the Shell. As a matter of fact, we never really get the sense that society is in trouble at all. So I'm really not understanding the whole Blade Runner Matrix comparison. Now let's move on to the cons.
Wait, that's all you have to say?
Yep.
So there's nothing else good about this film?
No, not really. Ironically, I don't have many negative things to say about this movie except for it's not exceptional.
What do you mean?
Ghost in the Shell is like a lukewarm beer.
I don't drink beer.
But you are aware of a beverage called beer, right? A beverage that's meant to be served cold.
Right.
That's what Ghost in the Shell is. There's not enough story to be thought-provoking, not enough suspense to be a thriller, not enough action to be a thrill ride. This really is a plain Jane of a movie.
How's the story?
It's basically the same story as Bourne Identity, where we have a cyborg who is trying to figure out what happened to her body. She's pitted against a corporation that sees her only as a weapon and sets up the same conflict that we saw in RoboCop. If you haven't seen RoboCop, it's about a cop that gets shot to pieces and then he's resurrected like the Frankenstein monster. He gets programmed with all these objectives that he has to follow, but during the middle of the story, his memories start to return to him, and he starts to think about his family. Take a look at this scene where he finally realizes and comes to grips with the fact that he had a life before he became RoboCop.
You may not like what you're going to see.
It's really good to see you again, Murphy.
Murphy had a wife and son. What happened to them?
Well, after the funeral, she moved away.
Where did they go?
She thought you were dead. She started over again.
I can feel them. But I can't remember them. Leave me alone.
You know, you actually feel bad for RoboCop and you start to sympathize with him. Ghost in the Shell is lacking this emotional depth, which is pretty surprising because the original has a lot to do with consciousness and what it actually means to be human. At no point in this film do I ever empathize or feel any sympathy for the Major.
Did Scarlett do a bad job?
No, actually, Scarlett did a very good job, but you can only work with the material that you're given. The emotion is just not in the script. If your lead character is going to be a robot that has no emotions, then you got to put them in some situations where they can express some human qualities. Check this out.
Put the gun down now! Get out of here!
Come on, guns, split! Come on!
Jesus, you were gonna kill that guy!
Of course, I'm a Terminator.
You just can't go around killing people.
Why?
What do you mean, why? 'Cause you can't.
Why?
Because you just can't, okay? Trust me on this.
See how the Terminator takes on the role of a naive child? We've just humanized this killing machine. Ghost in the Shell would have been a much better film had it had a scene similar to this one or the one in RoboCop.
What about the other actors?
They ain't worth discussing. And that's the problem with this film overall. The movie does not suck. It's not a bad film, but there's nothing exceptional about it either. You know, it would have been better if they would have stuck to the original idea and made this film more about consciousness, or if they would have just sold out and made a Hollywood-style film like RoboCop or The Terminator. But this film straddles the fence. It's not here, it's not there, so, you know, it is what it is.
Time to judge it.
All right, you blockheads, here's what you're gonna like about this film. This film has pretty good world building, guns, robots, and it has a giant spider tank. All right, here's what you're not gonna like about this film. This film is boring. This film has very little action, no suspense. I don't really think you're gonna like it, so I'm gonna have to say, all my blockheads, you need to avoid this film. All right, for all my cinephiles, here's what you're gonna like about this film. This film has excellent cinematography. I believe that you will like the world building aspect. On to the cons. You know, this film had the potential to be thought-provoking like Inception, but it really didn't go far enough, so I think you'll be a little disappointed with the story. Also, this film had an opportunity to be culturally significant by having an Asian woman as the lead in a big-budget Hollywood action film, but they missed that opportunity. Sorry, cinephiles, I don't think this film is for you. I don't think there's enough intellectually or emotionally to keep you invested or engaged. So, I'm gonna say avoid. All right, that was today's show. 82, we just can't seem to keep any good guests, can we?
Just make me your guest. I'm the only reason why people are watching.
All right, that's today's show. You can subscribe by clicking right here.
And let us know in the comments section if you thought that whitewashing Ghost in the Shell was the reason why it bombed.
Thanks for watching the J.Ari Show. If you like the music, it was provided by Raw Grooves Productions. There's a link to the website in the description box. Next week, I'm gonna post a video where we talk specifically about whitewashing, so I hope you come back and watch. This is J.Ari and 82 signing off, and we out. Peace.